What if managers could practice running a business without the real world risks? TopBoss has developed a business operations management simulation course that puts the learners into the role of decision maker in a virtual business. Learners play the business simulation game through real world scenarios, make strategic choices, and see the impact of their decisions in real time. In this training program, managers could indeed practice running a business without the real world risks. Isn't that great? The Top Boss Business Operations Management Simulation course trains learners to become managers of a business. The training course engages learners more effectively than traditional classroom workshops, and it boasts decision-making skills in managing any business. What sets this training course apart from traditional training workshops are learners get hands-on experience managing a business through simulation. Learners get real-time feedback of their performance managing the business through dashboards. And it is a scalable solution for enterprises, big and small, to train their workers. Business education has traditionally relied on lectures, textbooks, and case studies. While these methods do provide valuable insights, they often fall short in preparing learners for the complexity of decision making in the real world. In today's fast paced business environment, managers and learners alike need more than theory, they need practice. This is where simulation based learning comes in. By immersing learners in realistic scenarios, business simulation bridges the gap between knowledge and application, offering a safe yet powerful way to build skills that matter. For decades, business schools and corporate training programs have leaned heavily on passive learning methods. Lectures delivered information, but learners often struggle to retain or apply it. Case studies encourage analysis, but they remain hypothetical exercises with no immediate consequences. The result is learners may understand concepts and theories, but they lack the confidence to apply them under pressure. In the workplace, this gap can lead to costly mistakes, slow decision making, and indeed even missed opportunities. Simulation based learning transforms business education by making it active, experiential, and immersive. Instead of reading about pricing strategy, marketing mix, production planning, inventory control, procurement approaches, etc., learners step into a simulated environment where they must make decisions, manage trade offs, and deal with the outcomes. Key advantages of simulation based learning include experiential practice, whereby learners become decision makers, not passive observers, safe risk taking, so that mistakes are merely learning opportunities without the catastrophic consequences in the real world. Engagement and retention are enhanced, driving deeper understanding and long-term memory through interactive experiences. For example, learners are challenged in the simulation to balance procurement of raw material and production allocation in the operations of the business, forcing learners to think critically about resource allocation and strategic priorities. For learners, professionals, and entrepreneurs, simulation-based learning offers immediate and tangible benefits. For example, immediate skills application in careers. Learners practice decision-making in realistic scenario already. Increased confidence in decision-making. Repeated exposure to challenges strengthens the learner's problem-solving abilities. Learners walk away with the ability to apply the knowledge of managing a business learned in the training course, rather than memorizing the concepts, theories, and framework learned in traditional training workshops. These are the skills the employers value highly, Companies that adopt simulation-based training reported higher engagement of trainees because the simulation can track their performance and progress. This provides a clear ROI to the HR and L&D leaders in the organization. Simulation-based training encourages teamwork and collaborative decision-making. The result is managers trained to collaborate, strategize, and adapt in dynamic environments. You registered for this training module because you are curious how simulation-based learning can transform you. You will not be disappointed. You will enjoy the training, the simulation game, and become the leader of tomorrow. Let's get started. Today, I want to share with you a simple yet powerful framework for mastering operations management through a business simulation game. It is called Learn, Play, Apply. At its core, it is about building efficiency and effectiveness, the two qualities every successful business leader needs. We begin with Learn. This is where you build the foundation. You study the principles of operations management. How resources are located, how inventory management functions, how cost control and goal achievement are balanced, how marketing and quality improvement R&D impact potential demand, how production and procurement are forecast in pair, how equipment investment and equipment maintenance impact production. Then, the concept of plan, do, check, adjust cycle in operations management. At its core, business decisions must be made in coordination, not in silos. For example, production allocation must match up with increased potential demand created by aggressive marketing. Procurement must match up with production allocation to avoid expensive stockouts. The training program lets you learn all these fundamental principles and concepts through 8 video lessons of some 20 minutes each, which you can access online in your own pace at your own time. Next comes to play. This is the heart of the training program. Here, you are no longer just learning about operations. You are living it. You will join 2, not 1, but 2 Zoom webinars spaced a week apart. In the Zoom webinars, you will access the game site and play the business simulation game for many rounds over a 3-hour webinar session. The facilitator cum coach at the webinar will walk you through round by round and coach you how to make decisions to run your company, competing with your classmates running other companies. Imagine you are running a virtual company manufacturing chocolate bars and selling them in the market. You decide how much raw materials to buy, how many pieces of chocolate bars to produce, how much money to spend on marketing, what R&D expense to invest to improve product quality, whether to invest in new equipment to expand capacity, and how to maintain the equipment to produce efficiently. Every decision has consequences. Ordering too much raw material, you end up with huge inventory. Ordering too little, you don't have enough to support the production needs, and you lose business that could potentially be yours. The good news is the stage is safe. You can experiment, take risks, even make mistakes. Mistakes are learning opportunities, not costly failures. And this is where efficiency and effectiveness come alive. You see firsthand that cutting costs without considering customer needs can hurt business. You are not being effective. On the other hand, blindly chasing after sales without managing resources can hurt profit. You are not being efficient. The simulation game makes these lessons real. Finally, we move to apply. After playing the business simulation game under a coach for 2 sessions of 3 hours each, where players are essentially practicing, a final webinar will be held where players are no longer practicing. They are now playing for real. There will be no coach to ask the players to explain their decisions and point out their flaws, unlike the 2 practicing sessions before. In this webinar, participants will play the business simulation game straight through. No interruption by the coach. No questions will be answered by the coach. At the end of a number of rounds played, players will be ranked according to a predefined scoring scheme. Top 3 winners will emerge. They will be required to give a 7-minute presentation to the webinar to share their insights and takeaway of the game they played. This is where magic happens. A manager might realize that he has a tendency to be too conservative in inventory control, but too zealous in marketing push. An entrepreneur might see how better forecasting of potential demand can be critical to the efficient allocation of resources. The point is, now you are not only knowledgeable, but you are also confident and possess insights you can use immediately. Throughout this training program, 2 benefits stand out: efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency is about doing things right. For example, minimizing waste, reducing costs, optimizing resources. Effectiveness is about doing the right things. For example, meeting customer needs, achieving goals. A company that is efficient but ineffective may save money but lose customers. A company that is effective but inefficient may delight customers but struggle financially. Success requires balance, and simulation-based learning makes that balance tangible. You gain from this program a fuller understanding of the importance of balance between efficiency and effectiveness in running any business. You are actually managing it as you play the business simulation game. So remember, learn the concepts, play with scenarios, apply the experience. This is how we build confident, capable leaders ready to manage the complexities of modern business. Balancing efficiency and effectiveness isn't just a bunch of buzzwords and ideas. They are real outcomes through smart, experiential learning. And the business simulation game is the bridge that takes managers there.